きよいはきよい大相撲
Hello, it is Amy and Dave from Sumo Mainichi here for day 15 of Juryo. We love to talk about Juryo.
Yeah, well, we are here. We are going to bring you all the action from the final day's play. What is heating up to be a very, very exciting end to the sumo calendar year. We're in Fukuoka today, where the weather is 19 degrees Celsius or 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Bit of a light breeze, humidity 50%. You could say that this is perfect weather for sumo.
Yeah, no one looks too hot in the stadium. Everyone's got sort of long-sleeved tops on, so they all look very, very comfortable. No fans out. It's not too hot. And everybody's set for an absolutely rocking final day of sumo. It is going to be so exciting. We're moving from Makushita into Juryo, but of course it's Makuchi as well, where a lot of the excitement is. This is Hokaseho against Yuma, the second last bout of Makushita. Hokuho breaking early and giving Yuma a little pat on the chest. Sorry,
we can
mate.
See there ex-Yokozuna Kisuna Sato
Yep.
sitting by the ring, presiding over this one.
Didn't look impressed with that mata. Hokuho already has his makukoshi, Yuma as well, so this is just a battle for who feels better at the end of the basho. Lots of slaps, absolutely whacking. An absolute bar fight, this one. They were winding up and smashing each other's faces. And it's Yuma that's come out on top there. That was pretty brutal.
Sumo, it's a beautiful sport. It's a sport of control. It's a sport of technique. But once you get hit in the face, all rules are off. You need to hit back. Yeah, it becomes a grudge match, and it's sumo that I like to see. And especially when, as you said, absolutely nothing riding on this one. Both of them 2-4. But, you know, day 15, why not whack another player in the face?
Well, we've seen it a lot, this basho actually, where somebody's had a good one first off, one that just absolutely resounds through the stadium. You can really hear that whack, and the other guy's just gone, nah, not today.
Well, again, I think it's reflex.
Yeah, it just ignites Takakeisho style in the body.
Absolutely.
The body takes over, the hand meets the face.
Well, I mean, as soon as you get slapped that hard, the body really only has one natural response, and that's to clock the other guy back.
If somebody whacked me in the face, I would hit them straight away.
Well,
I've never been slapped. Have you been slapped? Glad.
No, I'd probably go down. I'd go straight down.
I'd slap them for you.
Great.
The final bout of Makushita, it's Chiyono-o, who we know well, and Ishizaki, who already has his kachikoshi. Both of these guys do. So it looks like, I don't know whether Chiyono-o is going to be able to make his way back. He's at Makushita 6.
It's a bit of a stretch from here, I'd say. I think Yusho would definitely have seen him come back to Juryo, but I don't think 5-2 from Makushita 6 is quite enough.
No, there's definitely other guys who go above him. Shonan Naomi ended up at 5-2 at Makushita 1. He'll definitely come up, so that'll be great to see. Enjoy his sumo. Asaneyama, he went 6-1. He was beaten by the guy who won, Makushita. Tamashoho. But he will still come up. He's at Makushita 4. Hakuyozan, 5-1 at Makushita 5.
There was another name that didn't appear right up the top, and that was Asaneyama, this time going 6-1.
Yep.
Well, there we see Ishizaki pumping himself up. Love the sideburns too. It's good to let them grow out a little bit.
Well, there needs to be somebody take over the sideburn mantle from
that's true.
Gyutairyu. Aqua is doing a good job of it. He might be the guy.
So Ishizaki moves forward. Shows Chiyono what's going to happen here, and he looks like the plan was to go straight at the big man. They get ready to go again. Crowd starting to build up at the Fukuoka Stadium. I want to say Dolphins Arena, but that's Osaka, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Osaka.
Well, here they go. Ishizaki establishes a strong left-hand belt grip. He's slapping around the back looking for some belt, but it's all skin there. Pulls Chiyono all around on the belt. She's a well-built unit, Ishizaki. Finishes off the Kyushu Basho in positive form. 5 and 2 at Makushita 8. We're probably going to be seeing him in Juryo next year at some point.
I reckon, although a lot of guys get to the top of Makushita and then you never see them again, or you see them 5 years later after coming back after some massive injury. So we may well. We still have, I said before that Hakuyozan was 5 and 1, and that's because he still has to fight. He is part of
Yes, he's the special guest.
Juryo. Yep.
Today.
He's the second Makushita special guest. The first is Fujiseon. Now this is really important for him because he's at Makushita 2.
Yep.
And he's 3 and 3 Fujiseon. So
well, just as these two get ready, we'll give you a bit of a preview on what's going to happen, because this Yusho is going to get sorted out very, very quickly today, because Oshoma takes on Daiamami. Oshoma is 11-3. A win today against Daiamami seals the Yusho for him.
And that's so exciting for Oshoma.
That is a very, very big deal. Now, if Oshoma loses, that will leave Oshoma and Daiamami on 11-4. Now, there are 3 Rikishi who could join those two on 11-4 if they win. Hokaseho needs to beat Korokuzan. Aqua could join them if he beats Gonoyama. And Tsurugisho is the other Rikishi there on 10 wins.
Who are you feeling it for today?
Oh, look, I think Oshoma's had a great basho. Absolutely deserves success. He's been very, very consistent. Nothing flashy. Just solid sumo day in and day out.
It has been. We've talked about Aqua rediscovering his sumo, but it was great to see other people really take it to him as well. Good to see Tsurugisho in some form, but right now it's all about Fujiseon and Sushimanada. Sushimanada will be dropping out of Juryo, but Fujiseon, he has the chance to come up. If the name's familiar to him, that's because we've talked about him a couple of times over the last year winning Yusho. He won the Jonakuchi Yusho in May 2021 and the Sandanmei Yusho in September last year. And he's come up pretty quickly. Had a little bit of time in Makushita, but now he's challenging at the top. But he really, really needs this win. Otherwise, he'll just hang around.
Yeah.
Up the top of Makushita.
Exactly right. Sushimanada, this is his first basho at Juryo, Juryo 14. As you said, he will be exiting after this basho, already picking up his Makakoshi a couple of days ago. He's 29 years old, has been around since 2016. So hopefully we get to see him back in Juryo very soon. I like what I saw.
Yeah, he didn't look terrible by any means. He took it to some of his opponents. He didn't look weak, but just unable to get that kachikoshi. Hello to Scott back in southeast Queensland after the holiday to, it was New Zealand, wasn't it?
And
Welcome
Annie's here as well.
Back. And hello, Annie, as well. So nice to have you guys in. So Sushimanada, he comes forward. He's holding Fujiseon by the neck, but Fujiseon are able to dart around and move himself into a much better position. They lock up on the belt. Sushimanada has the right hand on the belt, and he's holding Fujiseon's right arm in a bit of a tricky position. They've locked up each other, actually, and they're on that sort of angle where either could do anything, and Sushimanada, I think, trying to take the momentum there and move Fujiseon back, but he wasn't able to. They're breathing heavily at this stage. They've put a lot into this bout already. The crowd fire up. Now the crowd, we're asking a lot for them today. We want them to come alive, and they have already for the first bout of Juryo. They're encouraging these guys who are really, here's Sushimanada again. He steps forward, but it's Fujiseon who comes back, but then Sushimanada throws him down.
Wow. What a way to open up Juryo. Fujiseon, nothing wrong with that. He will go back to Makushita and finish on a record of 3 and 4. Sushi Manada, I think this is the sumo that we would have liked to see a little bit more of over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Positive and strong. Really knew what to do out of that lock-up. He didn't want to stay around too long.
No, he didn't, and he kept initiating, which was really cool. There was a guy watching him right in the middle, in about the second row of the crowd, who fist pumped the air at the end of that one. So big Sushi Manada fan, just loved it. Here he goes, huge claps, fist pump, loved it. So he's got fans, Sushi Manada, and hopefully we'll see him back in Juryo again after just a little bit of sweeping, a little bit of cooking, a little bit of helping out the bros, and then he can come back to the salaried ranks.
He will be back now. Up next on the doyo, we have Hakuyozan and Kaisho. Hakuyozan, as you said, he's our second Makushita visitor. He's on 5 and 1. Am I right?
Yep.
I am. At Makushita 5, probably won't see him coming back to Juryo, but he will certainly be at the top of Makushita. It's hard to say, though, exactly how it's going to go. And he's up against Kaisho, who at Juryo 10 has posted 10 losses already.
Yeah, and 8 of them were in a row, and they're the last 8. So he's coming off a terrible time of it, we call it in sumo. And just hoping to get that one more win. I mean, I think it's pretty important here at Juryo 10 it could be the difference between him staying in Juryo.
I think with a 5-10, they could find a way to keep him in Juryo, give him one more chance.
Possibly. He has been in the Juryo ranks for quite a while, and he's done really well. A while ago, so he had that 11-4 in July last year. And then another Kachikoshi 8 and 7, and he got to his highest rank, which was Juryo 2. But from there, his form has kind of come and gone. He pulled out when everyone pulled out in July this year. But yeah, this row of 8 losses, it's not great for him. Need to find something
here today. Not at all. Well, I know, and I mean it's a very, very challenging thing when you're just stacking up the black dots day after day. How do you reset your mind and come out and do positive sumo? It's a question that Kaisho is going to need to answer in the next few minutes. Hakuyozan, who you can see on your screen at the moment. Look, I mean, it's been a tough last couple of years for Hakuyozan after going out injured in July 2021. Slipped from Juryo 3, his equal highest rank. Slipped back out of Juryo in May this year and really has only just been getting Kachikoshis in the Makushita ranks, 2-4-3s prior to this, well, at least 5-1. The Gyoji is ready. Hakuyozan on the left, Kaisho on the right. Hakuyozan ready for some sumo. Kaisho comes forward. Hakuyozan trying to get under the chin, keep the center of balance high. Well, Kaisho dodges out of the way, and you can see the look on Hakuyozan's face. He did not know what happened.
No. He was suddenly facing the same way as his opponent. In sumo, we call that getting a bit in trouble, and it's okuridashi.
Well, was it? I hope it was.
It was
okuridashi.
Confirmed. But yeah, how he got turned around there, he didn't know.
Yeah, we can see it. It was a really magnificent opening salvo from Hakuyozan. Really destabilised Kaisho, but Kaisho just managed to keep his head really there. Keep that thing we call doyo awareness as he was moving backwards and just step deftly aside.
Some fancy footwork. We noted this Basho that there was a lot of great work on the Tuara, especially on one of the days.
Day 12? Or
day
day
12,
11?
Day 11. It was people just not going out, never giving up. It was a day of real perseverance in Makuuchi at least, and I think Juryo as well. So much dancing on the bales, so much pivoting around, just some real situations. I remember Ryuden up there on them, and some real situations where guys got themselves out of trouble.
Okay, well, let's have a look now. This is the big one on your screen at the moment, Oshoma. Look at that record, 11 wins, 3 losses. He's on a streak of 5 wins. He knows what it feels like. Do you think he's feeling pressure here today?
Definitely, but it does seem like he is not too bad at coping with pressure because he's ridden risen so quickly that if he started to feel pressure, there was really no time for him to take it in. And if he had have really fallen prey to it, I think he would have taken a lot longer to get up here. I think he must feel it. I mean, everybody does, but he's able to, I don't know, quell it or use it and get those results.
Well, on the screen at the moment is his opponent, Daiamami, who again is coming in with a great win streak to finish off this basho. He's got 6 in a row. He's on 10-4 at the moment. He has looked rock solid throughout this second week. Knows what it's like to fight in the top division. I think that the experience he brings to this bout could be the difference. Also, he's a bit bigger, he's a bit heavier.
He is quite a big fellow, Daiamami. I'm always surprised every time I see him how large he is. But Oshoma, he's beaten some of the top guys this time around. He beat Aqua, he beat Tsurugisho, and he managed to beat Enho as well yesterday. He lost to Hokaseho, but for me that's not really a problem at the moment because everyone's still figuring out how to fight Hokaseho.
Yeah.
The bouts are so different from anything else. You can't really judge Oshoma's form from a loss to Hokaseho.
No, that's exactly right.
But he has beaten Aqua and Tsurugisho. They're much more the form and the style of Daiamami, so I think that bodes really well for him here. And a reminder that if he wins here, Oshoma, he will take the Juryo Yusho. The heart's starting to beat a little bit faster. What's his side thing that he does? What's that word? Ritual.
Ritual. Oh, welcome to the chat, Daniel. The Sushi Manara Fujiseiyun was won by Tsushi Manara. Hey, Tabby, welcome to the chat.
Yeah, Tsushi Manara took the charge of Fujiseiyun and turned him around and got him down. So Fujiseiyun got his Makakoshi, which means he'll be staying in Makushita for one more round of it. Tsushi Manara had a big fan in the audience who was really happy about it too. So maybe now with you he has 2 fans. I'm sure he has a lot of fans.
And we just got some great footage there of a big Daiamami fan. She had the banner. She had the hat.
Is it? It's the one.
I think it's the one.
Yeah. Well, can you see the nerves in this man's face? Oshoma, his first Juryo Yusho. It would be extremely exciting for him in only his 3rd basho in Juryo and at his highest rank Juryo 12. He came out in July because of COVID. Then he got a Kachikoshi and now he is 11-3 and ready to accept that certificate from the JSA. Thank you very much. He's down early. Daiamami too. They're just sussing each other out, both on very different angles. Hands are down for Oshoma. Daiamami, it's not a great touchy eye here, but Daiamami comes forward, pushes Oshoma to the edge, but Oshoma, he circles around. Their hands are against each other's. Heads almost locked together. They're just trying to figure each other out. Daiamami charges again and charges Oshoma over the edge. And here you could see how much it meant to Oshoma.
Wow, he looks gutted.
Absolutely gutted.
So we at least have a 2-way playoff for this Yusho. 3 potential Rikishi to join them coming up in the next few bouts.
Oh, it's straw drawing time.
Well, let's
have the straws.
Pray for us. That's going to be
absolute chaos
that's
of the
going to be
Juryo
hard.
playoff.
Look, Daiamami, the sumo was just very, very positive there, wasn't it? Just overwhelmed Oshoma.
I think you were right in what you said in that the experience of Daiamami, he just knew what to do. He knew to come straight at him. He knew to charge him with his bulk. He knew to kind of freak him out by taking him to the edge straight away. And yeah, maybe Oshoma was more nervous than he let on, and certainly you could see on his face the reaction.
He looked
stevoed.
He looked absolutely downtrodden there.
Well, who's a playoff fan in the chat, Tabby? Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want more sumo?
Exactly
who doesn't
right.
want the rest of Juryo to be filled with excitement and us to have to hang around for an extra, half an hour to do the playoff?
Well, it could be that long if we get all 3 of these Rikishi in. Up next, we have a Nana Sho, Nana High matchup. Both Rikishi coming in on 7-7. Taka Kento and Kimbo-zan. The winner, Kachikoshi. The the loser, Makukoshi. Kizuna Sato there looks like a fresh haircut, and I think they might have taken the sides a bit short.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Got a severe fade there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is a very aggressive fade. It starts at 0 and it goes up to 100.
And it's quite high. Someone's done some styling on the top there as well. He's gone, fuck my shit up.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. You go to hairdressers. I've given up. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's different for women.
Yeah. We have to be quite prescriptive
You
about
do.
what we want. Yep.
I'm at the point in my life now where I don't even try.
Yeah, you don't say anything.
They say, what do you want? I'm like, oh, just do what you do.
Less. Do you just say less?
Obviously, I'm there for a haircut.
Don't want extensions?
But, yeah. You say I'd like to leave a little bit of length in it.
Well, you just had a haircut last week, and I
Yeah.
think they did pretty well.
Yeah, I
that was
think-
with a new guy too.
Yeah.
Did you get a beer?
Yeah, I got a beer this time.
In countries outside Australia, do you get a beer when you have your haircut? Because we do. Sometimes I have 3 wines.
3 wines?
3 wines. They just keep going. I mean, I'm very loyal to
You
my
are a loyal
hairdresser, and I have
customer,
been going
yeah.
for a long time. But after 3 wines, you
Wow,
really
you're
like
pretty
yapping
agreeable.
away.
Yeah.
Kim Bozan.
All
though.
right.
Kim Bozan, he's 25 years old, and he is really quick. He's come up so quickly, and this is his opportunity for Kachikoshi in just his second Juryo Basho.
They go down. Taka Kento looking relaxed. Not in a hurry. Hands go down. Taka Kento attacking low. Kim Bozan attacking high, but it's Taka Kento is able to move in close. But wow, the Kim Bozan defense is fantastic. It's working away under the chin of Taka Kento. They're really sorting this out in the middle of the doyo, but a few big thrusts from Kim Bozan settle the score there. That's a Kachikoshi winning record for Kim Bozan. Taka Kento, Makukoshi.
All right, so that's Juryo 11 for Taka Kento. He goes 7 and 8, so no disaster. He will not drop out. He was one who sort of snuck up on me a little bit with the Makukoshi.
Well,
I thought he was going all right.
Yeah, it was
Every time I saw him, he won. Can't be the case.
Well, it can't be. It's impossible. And here we see in the replay that it was really that thrust that came out of nowhere just broke that bout open. Sent Taka Kento careening across the doyo. That's why Kim Bozan is so dangerous. Oshidashi win there for him.
So in only his 7th Basho overall, not counting car park sumo, he is making his way up the Juryo ranks, and maybe we'll see a big old Kim Bozan in Makuuchi in not too long. But next up we have Tokushoryu and Kidnowaka, both with their Makukoshi already.
Have I told you about my haircut idea?
No.
You can go in and get a haircut under general anaesthetic. Because I hate getting my hair cut.
Yeah.
I hate talking.
Yeah, you don't like talking to them.
I've got enough personality to get me through like 5 minutes of a haircut.
Yeah, but maybe you need to find a more interesting hairdresser, because my hairdresser, her brother's girlfriend is in a cult.
Yeah, okay.
And we talk about that quite a bit. And it's really interesting to get a update every time. I mean, it's kind of sad. I shouldn't, if you're listening, won't say her name. I'm sorry. It's just really interesting.
Well, on the screen now, your friend, my friend, Sumo's friend, Tokushoryu.
Yeah, now tell us about what we've done for him.
Well, should we jump into our Juryo
Yeah,
awards?
I think so. I think we give them out as we
Well,
go.
We've missed a couple. Yeah,
Already?
we have.
Oh, yeah.
So
You can do it at the end.
we make up some awards, we give out some awards, and this award is Goodbye Sweet Prince, and we're giving this to Tokushoryu. With a 4:10 record coming into this final day, he will most certainly exit Juryo. And we think at 36 years old, one new show under his belt, it might be time to call it quits.
Time to open a restaurant, Tokushoryu, or to be there in March in the blue coat when we're there in Osaka.
Oh,
When Scott and Annie are there in Osaka,
okay.
maybe we're going to see Tokushoryu in the blue coat. I don't want to see Tokushoryu. No offense.
Well, let's all take a moment, pour one out for this champion,
Yeah.
Tokushoryu.
We're having a lovely sake, I should say, and I'll have a sip for him.
Yep. Still taking this seriously. The Yabema camera person chooses to focus on Kid Nawaka here, which I feel is the wrong call. At 5'9", there's nothing in this story.
Kid Nawaka's 22.
Yeah.
We don't need to know about him now.
His best sumo's ahead of him. We've got an old champ off screen doing his thing. This is the last time we get to see, I'm guessing, Tokushoryu's pre-match ritual.
And with the stiff Sagari, you know, the serious, the
Well, look, I want to
hair
see
flip.
I want to see Tokushoryu go out the way he won that Yusho, which is on the back foot, on the bales, performing a miracle.
Yes,
Let's do it.
All right, we're going to do it. We're going to manifest it right here, right now. For this bout, it's Tokushoryu leaning forward, staring Kid Nawaka straight in the face. He is not shying away, and it's a mata. He wasn't ready.
Well,
He wasn't ready.
absolutely showing his hand there. Tokushoryu now will be ready. He's had
Settle
a look
down, young
inside.
gun.
He's had a look inside the playbook with that.
Yep.
Looks like Kid Nawaka's going to come straight at him
He
here.
should do his last one with a hanker. Just a
Oh.
big, just pull him down.
It's not really Tokushoryu's style, though.
No, it's not really. And he meets him head on. Kid Nawaka goes on the belt, starts bumpeting him. It's no good. He
Well-
bumpeted him over.
Amazon Black Friday
well,
sale
look,
is live
That
now.
might have been a
Time
bit
to
of
get
a
epic deals on
sad
electronics.
end to the salaried career of Tokushoryu. Perhaps the last time that we might see him fight. He might retire now, or he might go down to Makushita.
Yeah,
and just struggle on.
Goodbye, Sweet Prince.
Goodbye, Sweet Prince. You got the very special Sumo Mainichi Juryo Award, and we think back to
Well, it was
January
January
2020,
2020.
the great times, the happiness on your face.
He went from M17,
Yep.
Maegashira 17, a 14-1 Yusho. He got the Shokunsho, the Kanto Sho. Just delighted sumo fans around the world with that unique style of sumo, which is not really put in at the touchy eye and then just make something happen on the bales.
Yep. Yep. The flip on
Only-
the edge.
Only lost to Kaisei on day 2. Beat some, well,
Who were
really.
who were some of the names he beat?
Okay, well, he only fought one Sanyaku,
Oh.
which was Takakeisho on the final day, and he beat Takakeisho on
Wow.
the final day. Oh, I mean, it's
How much screaming were we doing? I'm going to go and guess a whole lot.
oh, well, yeah, it would have been heaps.
Yeah.
Would have
Probably
been my
flat
guess.
down on the ground. Well, very important now. It's Hokaseho on 10-4 against Korokuzan, who's 7-7. Now, I do enjoy when this happens. Somebody in the run for the Yusho. So if Hokaseho wins here, he will join that playoff that already has 2 characters in it. But they put him up against someone who has a lot invested here. Korokuzan, he's at Juryo 8, but he doesn't want to go any lower here. He wants his Kachikoshi.
Well, can I say a big welcome to Tim Sumo in the
Yay, hello,
chat?
Tim.
I'd love to hear people's thoughts on Hokaseho's style that they've seen.
Yeah.
It's an interesting style that I haven't really seen. It's very slow. It's very deliberate. Leans very heavily on the fact that he's a very big guy and he's very, very hard to move. Not a lot in the way of technique, but just win after win after win. And I think a 10-4 at Juryo 6 might be enough to get him to the top division.
Ooh. I think he'd have to win the
Win the
Yusho
Yusho.
from 6.
Yep.
I think. Yep. Because there is a lot of success, or there's some success up the top. Like Chiyomaru, Juryo 1 got his Kachikoshi yesterday,
He
right?
did.
And then there's the people higher than him who have the same scores or similar scores. So I don't think so. But who knows? We may well see him a couple of steps ahead of this, but we may well see him take out the Yusho today.
Yeah, Tabby, I think I tend to agree that Hokaseho's style,
Yes.
it's
thank
not all
you.
that interesting. You know, obviously he's the protege of Hakuho. but you don't really see that hakuho style, or the conditioning doesn't seem to be coming through in the sumo yet. And look, it might happen. He's still so young, but don't see a lot of natural sumo instinct here. Now, just to recap what's on the line here, Hokaseho, if he wins, will join Daiamami and Oshoma on 11 wins in that playoff that will happen after the final bout. Hokaseho down. It's about as low as you'll see him for this whole bout. Korokuzan attacking high, but Hokaseho can't quite establish room on the belt. Korokuzan, wow.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, I'm a bit speechless there.
Have we seen Hokaseho thrown down this Basho, let alone in recent history? Have we seen him tumble?
That's a great question. I don't recall.
Look up his... Oh, how you couldn't do that. Look up the kimote that have been against him. So that's Kachikoshi for... Let's take care of this first. Kachikoshi for Korokuzan at Juryo 8. Congratulations. He will not slide down. In fact, he may even move up a tiny little bit. But he has taken single-handedly or double-handedly here.
Well, I think this is going to...
Hokaseho out.
This is going to be a clip that will be watched around all the Hayas tonight. It's... With this, Korokuzan has shown what you need to do to beat Hokaseho. Hokaseho was looking to get in on the belt, but Korokuzan was just determined to keep a little bit of space between the two of them. Thrust high. It wasn't necessarily to move Hokaseho back. It was just to keep him off his own body. That was sensational stuff. Now, we do need to say that Hokaseho was thrown down, Uwate Nage, on day 3 for Yutakiyama. So it is possible. It is possible.
Oh, of course you can see them.
Little thing called Sumo DB, clicking his name.
I just vagued out and thought you could only see their wins for some reason. So next, another really important one. It's Aqua on 10-4 against Gonoyama, who somehow pulled off his Kachikoshi already at Juryo 14. So that's great news for him. Can he grab one more win here and prevent Aqua from moving into the playoff that already has Daiamami and Oshoma in it? It does not have Hokaseho. So, yeah, as you say, Tim, another failed Basho for Hokaseho when he gets double digits, but he can't quite finish it off. Very interesting to see. Just some nerves or some technique failure there on the final day.
The next two, Rikishi up on the doyo. Aqua up against Gonoyama. Now, Aqua, complete rebirth this Basho.
Absolutely. He's looking so much better. Even his losses have looked better. He has lost to, well, Chiyomaru, Mitoryu, Oshoma, fair enough, and Roga, but has pulled out some good wins as well, particularly in the first week. He's fallen off a little bit, but he started off with 6 wins in a row, and his sumo just looks strong. He's going forward. He's not trying to do any... Well, we've seen one. We saw one attempted kakanage.
Which I loved.
And which the Japanese commentators loved. They just dissolved into fits of laughter. He's trying it again. It didn't work, so it's good to see him resort to his old, more stable sumo, you could call it, perhaps.
Aqua, he's a Renaissance man, 32 years old. When he's not doing sumo, he makes jewellery.
Yep. Sips red wine.
Yeah, he's a man who... He appreciates art. And I think you can
Loves
see...
theatre. I made that up.
Sometimes maybe that's the thing that's the problem with this sumo.
Loves Phantom of the Opera. I made that up.
I don't think he'd be one for musicals.
Really?
No.
Oh.
No,
I
don't
reckon
think
he
so.
would.
No.
Who would love musicals the most in Juryo? Maybe Tokushoryu. I feel like he would have been to a couple. No, I think Aqua loves all forms of art. He goes down early. He stares Gonoyama down. He knows how important this is. He's right up on the Shikiri-sen. And he hits into Gonoyama and he is tumbled down and out. That is no playoff for Aqua.
Who was that?
I don't know. Is that him? Has the sound been off all this time?
Yeah, I was down from the ads before. So, sound is back.
Sound's back.
Well, Aqua, Here we see the replay. I think the touchy-eye was good. Head went down a bit. Gonoyama kept his feet, stepped aside there. Very, very solid win. A disappointing end, you'd say, to this Basho for Aqua.
I'm annoyed at Aqua and Hokaseho because they're taking a fun playoff away. So Oshoma, he lost to set it up. We were promised great playoff times, and it's not eventuating.
Well, we only have one remaining Rikishi on 10 wins, and that's Tsurugisho, who is fighting Roga in about 4 bouts' time. So, come on. We want one more.
Don't you say Hokaseho has been thrown at least once every Basho? Yeah, okay. I mean, I think I just have got really used to him just standing upright and sort of pushing and fiddling around. So I'm sure he has been thrown a lot. It's just I've started to really associate that look with him, I think.
I think what I was looking for, I'm just really interested to see how Hokaseho's style goes in Makuuchi.
Yeah, and the different methods of winning against him and whether something works more often than others, because you don't see him rolled down as much as, I don't know, Oshoho. Who am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Some of the smaller guys. Onosho. Oh my gosh. I've got, there's so many names in my head at the moment. Oshoma. I just made one up. Oshoho.
Yeah. I'm sure there's someone called Osho somewhere.
Onosho. Onosho gets rolled down all the time. Hokaseho doesn't get rolled down as much.
But I mean, that's
an
interesting contrast you've made. Hokaseho and Onosho. Is there anything similar about this?
They're different.
They're different, okay.
Thank you. And that's the sparkling commentary you can expect to find here at Sumo Mainichi. Thank you very much. That's some sumo analysis from Amy.
So we're going to be counting down our top 50 most different Rikishi at the end of the broadcast today. As we see Tochi Musashi against Yutakayama, both of these Rikishi coming in with Makukoshi losing records. Tochi Musashi, a 7-8 here I think will be a good result if he can pick up a win. Love to see his sumo development.
We came into day 8 on 1 and 6. So he's done very well from there. I don't know if he just got nervous after winning the Yusho in September, if he just sort of overreached a little bit and just tried to do sumo that wasn't his, or, didn't follow the golden tenet of sumo, which is to do your own brand of sumo. I think he's trying to do someone else's brand of sumo, and then on day 8, on Nakabi, he decided I've got to go back to my own brand, and it started to work for him. So, yeah, this is a really good end result for him to be 6 and 8 with the possibility of 7 and 8, of course. Yutakayama, though, I've sort of had to let him go a little bit in my heart because I was so invested in him for so long, and just seems like the body is not happening for him. There's a lot of taping and injury suggestion.
Well, look,
I'm not quite sure what's happening, so I've had to just let him go.
Yeah, you were trying to make Yutakayama happen for a long time.
Yeah, well, he did happen for a bit, to be fair.
Yeah, yep. Tochi Musashi, of course, picked up a Yusho, a Juryo Yusho, back in September, which saw him shoot up to Juryo 7. So, look, it's only his second Basho at Juryo. I think he'll walk away with his head held high.
Okay, there is some great stuff in the chat. Hokuto Fuji, first up, a fan of musicals. I can't believe I didn't think of that. That is so perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Phantom of the Opera is playing in Melbourne at the moment, and I would go with Hokuto Fuji.
Yeah.
Best date night ever. And comparisons of Rikishi and Hoen Ichinojo. Yep. Big and small. Thank you. Thank you for getting on board. Hokuseo versus Midori Fuji. Exactly.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Exactly.
Love to see it.
Yutakayama with a wiggle. Tochimusashi with a run-up. He slams into Yutakayama and doesn't get him back too far. And in fact, it's Yutakayama who moves Tochimusashi back. He's stamping his right foot. Yutakayama trying to get something happening. He's trying to throw Tochimusashi down, but he is such a big character. He can't do it. And they do lock up. Tochimusashi with his head buried against Yutakayama's right shoulder. They're playing handsies, trying to find some advantage here. Trying to push each other into a position where they feel like they can take that momentum.
Can I say beautiful coverage from Abema here?
Oh,
Whoop,
they
crash
zoom in,
out.
Crash zoom in, crash zoom out. Go in again.
Go in.
Why not?
Because this is the sumo you want to see.
I know.
The arm play, the battle.
I know. He's trying to touch his knee.
Yep, doesn't get touched.
No. And he's pushing backwards Tochimusashi and he gets the momentum. He takes it. That is a 7-8 for him. So impressive. What a comeback for him. Yutakayama, he's laughing. What, does he find it funny?
Well, I
funny?
think he's just, you know, he's like, sumo's a funny old game. I've gone 5-10.
I'm only saying that because I'm hurting inside. I'm trying to make a joke out of it because
Oh, look,
I'm sad.
a fascinating bout here. Tochimusashi really shows the strategic side of his sumo here. It didn't seem in a great rush to get going there, but when he did, it mattered. And we saw a little bit of footage there of a wry smile of Yutakayama.
We'll call it that. He did not find it funny. So that means that he will stay in Juryo. This is his first Basho in Juryo for a long while, 3 years or so, and he'll stay down there. So he scores now after his Kachikoshi in July at Makushita 16 going to 14, a 4-11 and 5-10. The big problems.
Do we know?
For Yutakayama.
Do we know? Is there an injury concern?
He's just taped up everywhere. He's taped. He's more taped than
He
Chinakuni.
certainly is. Well,
I'm
speaking of
going to let you
Chinakuni,
speak about him.
well, look, I don't want to play favourites, but what we've seen from Chinakuni this time round can only be described as heroic. And I feel that a 6-8 score is just completely unbecoming. His sumo's looked free. Been incredibly entertaining to watch.
He has looked heaps better.
He's looked heaps better. We've seen that aggression out of the touchy eye that went lacking for a few years there, obviously due to just the build-up of injuries. But look, I'm pretty crushed that he he's already got his losing record. But a 7-8 is nothing to be ashamed of. On the other side, Hidenomi. This score surprises me, but when I look at his sumo every day, it's just been very, very average.
It really has, and he has... it's a little disappointing since all the Waka brothers got Kachikoshi this time around, I think. So we could have got quintuple brother Kachikoshi if he had been on his game. But he wasn't, and he's got close to winning so many times, Hidenomi. Like, he doesn't look terrible, but he just sort of gets to the edge and then runs out of steam.
I kind of feel like he's a bit happy to let opponents onto the belt. And his sumo, he can't really get himself out of those situations. I think what we'll see here today from Chinakuni is he's going to come out red hot. He knows this is an easy clap. Well, just giving the Juryo a little bit of a foot sweep there, making sure that they can get some purchase out of this touchy eye. Hidenomi, he's a man who knows he's about to be belted very, very hard. Can't be a good feeling.
Cheers to you, Hidenomi. That's the sound of an Australian opening a beer.
Well, and Hidenomi's at Juryo 4. I was expecting him to make quite a quick return to Makuuchi, but since the ban, I think he sat out one Basho for gambling.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you did. Don't forget. They were gambling on baseball too. It's fine, guys.
Was it?
Something like that.
Yeah. That had gone entirely out of my mind.
And since then, he's just failed to find that form. Well, we see the Chinakuni.
The knot is so small on that towel. I want that towel so badly because all of the other towels with a no on it, the no is kind of way more the size of the other kanji. but it's so tiny. How do I get that towel? It looked
How many-
autographed as well.
Round it off to the nearest 20. How many towels will we be buying when we're there in March?
We're going with an empty suitcase. We've actually already talked about it. We've paid for 2 full baggage limits, but we're just going to take 1 empty suitcase.
All right, the Gyoji says it's time. Shinokuni clears his throat. Gets the jaw engaged. This is beautiful footage we're getting from this Abema feed here. A look inside the mind of the man, Chinokuni. He's down first. Chinokuni crashes into Hinumi, tries and follow up, high attacks, got absolutely sidestepped by Hinumi, lost his balance. I'm shattered.
Hinumi with a rare display of
Sumo.
So I was going to say motion in the 4-11 final score there. I was like, oh, thank goodness. I acquitted myself quite well there. But yeah, Shinokuni, what happened here? He just didn't find anything at the tachiai, I think.
Yeah.
And Hinumi's the double sidestep. It was the double sidestep of Hinumi. That was very clever.
Hiki Taoshi win there for Hinumi. Looked relieved to get that 4th win. Now, Daniel,
Slot machine.
was it slot machines? Because aren't they legal?
Did he tamper with one?
Oh, jeez.
Has anybody in chat read Pachinko? That is such a great book about
Sumo.
a Korean family who one of the characters worked in the slot machine industry. Such a good book. Anyway.
Well, Pachinko's not slots, though.
No, right, okay.
What do we call slots here? Like
The pokies.
Pokies.
Yeah. We went to a wedding last night and it was fantastic. One of the best. Like, it was a party wedding.
Oh, it was so good.
Great party. And on the way home, the friends we went home with tried to get us to go to the pokies on the way home.
Did
And
they?
do you not remember?
Oh, I had such a good
Remember
time last
Daz?
night.
You
Yeah,
went to
well,
go to the
oh,
pokies?
yeah. Well,
We didn't go.
we didn't go.
We're not Hidenomi. Next up, it's Daishoho up against Mitoryu. Daishoho, he is on. Nanasho Nanahai. The 28-year-old, the big man from Mongolia. Can he get Mitsuyoshi at Juryo 9? Mitoryu is in his way. Mitoryu, look, he's been great.
Well, there's one thing you can count on from Mitorio. He's rock solid. 9 wins coming into this final bout. He's beaten Hokaseho. He's beaten Roga. He's beaten Takayama. He's beaten Aqua. He beat Shinokuni. He's picked up some big scalps along the way.
Ever since I saw the photo of Mitoryu and his family, it's made me very well disposed towards him. I love seeing the guys and their families. Got a couple of girls, if I remember correctly. A couple of kids. I mean, assuming it was his family, he might have just rocked up to somebody else on the beach and just posed with them. I don't know. Make people feel well disposed towards him.
So Mitoryu, 28 years old from Mongolia. Only seen a solitary Makuchi appearance from him, and he went 5'10". That was back in September. It wasn't a great look for him, was it? It was like he was overwhelmed by the pressure.
Yeah, he wasn't able to pull off any of his great moves, and he does have great moves. For a big guy, he can move very quickly, and he can be very solid with his sumo, and we just didn't see that. We saw just him be a bit tentative, I think.
Well, as Tim said in the chat, at Juryo 3, Mitoryu's a big chance to go back to the top division. And what I think we'll see is a Rikishi out there with a calmer head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And ability,
the second time it's not as stressful.
Not so much pressure.
Yeah. So one more would definitely advance his cause, but he is up against the 7-7 Daishoho. What can these two big fellas come up with? Mitorio going first. He does not touch the ground and he takes the Daishoho. Fairly slow charge. He moves back to the edge. Daishoho tries to pull him back and rock him down, but Mitorio, he is steady as on those feet. Daishoho, he has the belt and he is then able to step Mitorio back and over. So Mitorio, he is finished on 9 and 6, and that's Daishoho's ding.
Well, Kachikoshi, so good to see, and just some very straightforward sumo application from Daishoho. Got that left hand on the belt very, very early, and let the strength do the talking there. Vittori fought well on the bails. Have to give him that, but Daishoho just knows what to do in this situation. Straight on the belt, body to body, throwing that weight around. Yeah, Vittori, great fight on the Tawara there. But you can just see Daishoho sizing him up, waiting for his time. And when he decides to go forward, there's very little that Vittori could actually do there. Yorikiri win.
Yeah, he got him on that angle where he forced to step out, forced to take that final step. And at Juryo 9, Daishoho will be very happy with that. And that takes us to the final opportunity for us to get a three-way playoff. We've been denied a four-way playoff and we've been denied a five-way playoff. Give us a three-way.
So Daniel has confirmed that Hidenumi's ban was due to slots.
Yeah. I mean...
Well, look, and you're like, I wouldn't deny these guys, you know, the chance to go and just put a few 100 yen coins through the slots after a big day sumo. It feels like there are more illegal things you could do.
Yeah.
Who's it hurting?
Yeah.
I mean, the pachinko industry?
I just didn't know that it was illegal, I guess.
Yeah. Gee, because last time we were there, we were playing slots all the time.
Non-stop slots. Couldn't stop.
I remember as the plane touched down at Narita Airport, you're like, let's go to the slots.
Yay, slots on. Tsurugisho, can he do it? Can he do it? His opponent is Roga, who is just knocking it out of the park.
Well, as you see on the screen, he had that middle weekend wasn't great for him. 4 losses in a row, but got his Kachikoshi. He's at Juryo 13. This is his debut in this division and will be hanging around, which is a great thing for sumo fans around the world.
As Tim said before, he's not so concerned with Yutakayama because of
Tochi Musashi.
Tochi Musashi is coming up. The guys who are coming up are so strong, so cool. Their sumo so great. They're so exciting. So I really think we'll see Roga for a long time to come.
Can we talk a little bit about Tsurugisho though? Because as you said, he's coming in on 10 wins. A win here will put him in that playoff. He's looked very, very good over the last 2 weeks. Moving so freely as a big man.
Yep.
His sumo looks very focused, very deliberate, great intention behind what he does as he gives himself a good old slap up before he goes into this bout. Gambare Tsurugisho.
The fam's there.
Have they printed that out themselves?
And taped it together?
Well, no, I don't think it was taped, but they might have done it maybe gone down to...
printed that bit?
Well, no, you'd go to a print shop. But, obviously they haven't paid for, good paper stock.
No.
Do you know what I mean? That's flimsy. That'd be 80 GSM. Well, here we go. Tsurugisho, can he join the other two Rikishi on 11-4?
As a Tsurugisho fan, I'd like to say, gambare.
Roga down first. Tsurugisho tries to slap the face. It doesn't work. Roga got that left hand in on the belt and he's dragging Tsurugisho around, forcing him over to the bails. It looks like he's going to take him over, but Tsurugisho resists, makes great use of space, dances up on the bails, but the pressure from Roga was just too much there. This is an incredible situation that we are in here. All 3 Rikishi who were on 10 wins have lost.
Well, this is a really interesting psychological situation now for Oshoma because He comes back into the same bout that he was in before. He doesn't have to mess around with anyone else. He doesn't have to draw a straw. He just has to come back out and fight the guy who he lost to once today already.
So if you are, part of the staff, the support staff around Oshoma, what do you say? And I invite people to in chat to respond to this as well. But
I guess you have to say you got to reset. Like, you got to forget about it. You got to like pop a special charm down your mawashi or something. Do something to be different the second time around. Like, is there a superstition thing where you can pop a rabbit's foot or your favourite whatever down your mawashi and have it be a different scenario, not just come out again in the same way? Or you do a different ritual, like I was saying before. What is Oshoma's ritual? Does he throw the salt differently, or does he need to do it exactly the same to make sure he gets his full power?
My response would be opposite to that. I think it's more about firing Oshoma up. I would have 2 or 3 of the bigger guys around, push him up against a wall, pin him there, while someone else brings a mirror out.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who do you want to be?
Who do you want to be?
Yeah.
Whose style of sumo are you going?
Wow, that's powerful.
And make him, he needs to look in his own eyes.
Yeah. While he's crying. So pushed him up against the wall so hard. Well, this is an important bout. 7-7. It's a Nanashon and a high double. And it is Chiyo Sakae and Busho-san.
Well, this is a genius piece of programming. Both of these Rikishi have had signs of greatness over the last 2 weeks. Busho-san, he has that strong Oshi sumo style. Chiyo Sakae seems to go out there and make it up as he goes along, but is so entertaining to watch.
It is Chiyo Sakae's 3rd basho in Juryo. This is his highest rank so far at Juryo 10, and he would absolutely love a kachikoshi here, of course, as would Busho-san. Now, when I'm thinking about people who get rolled down a lot, I can't believe Busho-san didn't come to mind. I love the guy, but there is a lot of time spent on his back or on his belly, on the dirt.
I mean, the natural comparison with Busho-san is Takakeisho. Very, very similar styles. But as we've seen, Takakeisho, his footwork is actually what is the genius of that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he can move very well. He has got all the way up to Juryo 1 in January this year, where he went 2-13, just could not cope with the pressure of almost going up to Makushita. I would love to see him up there. Who are we going for in the chat? Tim's going for Busho-san. Yep. Oh, it's happening. It's happening right now. Busho-san comes in low. Chiyo Sakae is pushing him. They're rebounding against each other, but Busho-san has the best of it. And Takakeisho style, a little bit less with the pushes, but it still worked for him.
But the Takakeisho rhythm was there, wasn't it? It was the push,
the 1, 2, 3,
the push, the slap down of the incoming attack. He made that look very, very easy. Congratulations, Busho-san. Kachikoshi winning record for the last basho of 2022.
Will he go up to Makushita with 8 and 7 at Juryo 2? Tim, tell us. How many spots are there? You've calculated this.
Look, I would love to see someone do that thing where they lay 2 videos across, one with a lower opacity of Takakeisho doing exactly that bout. I mean, that felt like it had the Takakeisho signature on the screen. You can see, the disappointment. There's only 2 names up there, Daiamami and Oshoma. They will be taking one more bout to decide this Juryo Yusho. Daiamami. I think we all agreed that there was just a bit more experience in that bout before.
Has Daiamami been in a playoff before? I feel like he was in that other
chaotic Juryo
playoffs,
one,
the crazy one with Meisei. All right, time for my favourite analysis. Where are they standing? And what's their body language telling me? Mitakumi doesn't want to be there. Hoshoryu. Grumpy.
I think he's just got resting grumpy face.
Yeah, that could be the case.
Yeah. Tobizaru at the back on the left there. disappointing to see
千秋
him
楽にあたり
leaving
謹ん
Sanyaku.
でご挨拶を申し上げます。はじめにコロナ禍の大変な中、今年も1年大相撲を開催できました
This
ことを
Sanyaku is going to
お
look
願いを申し上げます。
very, very different in January. So we know Terunofuji might not be back. He might be.
これもひとえに
There
協
may
会
still
の
be
検
no
査や
Yokozuna.
高級
Takekeisho,
車種など
no
の
worries. He will be
ご対
there
応を
as
賜りまし
Ozeki.
た
Shodai will
医
be
療従事者の皆
Sekiwake.
様の
He did
格
not
段のご尽力と
fix or repair his Kataban
適
status.
切なご指導、そ
He
し
is
て
6 and 8 so
大勢の
far
皆様方の多大なる
on
ご
day
支援の賜物
15.
と
Wakataka
協会
Kage?
一同深く感謝を申し上げ
He's
ます。
8 and 6 so far, so he'll stay at Sekiwake. So Sekiwake, Wakataka Kage,
本場
Shodai,
所も1年納めの
Oshoryu,
九州本場所に
and
お
then
いて
Mitakumi. He will
皆
go
様の
down
温かい
because
応
he
援
got
に
his
支えら
Makekoshi.
れ
Yeah, a very, very different sumo top division look in 2023 as the camera tries to find a hint of emotion on Takekeisho's face, and they were again unsuccessful.
He's taking up so much more than he
Yeah.
should have space. Like,
The
look how
width.
far he is out from the line.
Yep.
No one, he's pushed Hoshoryu. This is clever actually of him. He's pushed Hoshoryu into a very
He's narrow.
close, narrow-legged stance. He doesn't look anywhere near as powerful as Takekeisho, who has spread the F out.
Yeah.
What a power move from Takekeisho.
Oh, totally. As they bow.
And yeah,
As-
just to finish off, Sanyaku Tamawashi will be out of Komusubi. Kiribiyama will stay or go up. Daisho out. Tobizaru out. So January, as usual, January Basho is usually fairly interesting, but the Sanyaku will be very, very different.
We have 3 more bouts in the program for Juryo before we do get to that final playoff. Up next on the doyo, we have Churinaumi and Shimazuumi. Churinaumi 4-10. I feel that the Okinawan native has been a bit unlucky over these last 2 weeks.
It's hard because this is his home basho as well. It's the closest one to Okinawa. And maybe his fans haven't been able to come, or his family haven't been able to pep him up this time around because he just hasn't looked very inspired, has he?
No.
Shimazumi,
No.
though, he's coming into this on 7 and 7 at Juryo 13. So I would say this was pretty important. He could stay in Juryo, but depending on all the shuffling, it could be a problem for him if he doesn't win this. But he is coming off a 4-day win streak, so...
Yeah, and poor old Churinaumi coming off a 5-loss streak into this final day. Wow, our sync is way out because that guy's clapping those sticks at a completely different time as we're hearing the sound. Churinaumi, he's 29 years old. He's actually fighting at his highest rank of Juryo 2. Before this Basho, 3 Basho with a 9-6 scoreline. So the latter half of 2022 has been very solid for him. It's worth sometimes having a look at Okinawa on Google Maps.
Yeah.
It's a very small island.
Well, we had a friend who lived there for...
Yeah, we
how long
did.
did she live there?
A couple of years.
Yeah. She
was-
worked at the university
She
there, I
did.
think.
Oh, and the photos were just
Oh,
amazing.
just the beaches. She was on the beach every day. Amazing weather. Non-stop sun. I mean, not the whole year, but for summer.
And I would say, given the I think America still has naval bases or army bases there, would probably be a really easy place to exist as a foreigner or an English speaker.
Her kid went to school there, I think.
Yeah.
Had a great time of
Yeah.
it. Met a whole lot of Japanese mates. Every so often on that cheap houses in Japan
東方
Instagram
ジョラの海
thing, there's a house in
東十
Okinawa.
両今井目
It's like, yeah.
沖縄県
Well, I mean, if the
Urumachi
Sumo
Sushi
Mainichi Sake
Shibuya.
Fund continues the way it is, we are very, very
西
close
方
to
島津海
being able to do this full time.
Yep.
Maybe we
東
can just
十
move to
両
Okinawa.
13枚目鹿児島県
Close to
種子島出身離れ
I think we're
小
close to
Great.
we're close to a full bottle of sake. But if you would like to support the podcast,
please
you can,
do,
and
please do,
you can do that via PayPal with our email address, sumomainichi@gmail.com. No pressure. Just you being here is payment enough, although that won't buy us a house in Okinawa.
If anyone has a house in Okinawa they'd like to gift this,
I don't know if
you absolutely can.
I have
Timeshare?
I have this weird fear of being on a small island in the middle of the ocean.
Also, when we went to Koh Samui,
Yeah, absolutely.
or
Because-
Koh Tao, that was worse. When we found
Yeah,
out
I
it was
think there's
Murder
something about
Island.
the water could just rise a bit,
Oh, yeah.
and then
yeah,
suddenly you're
yeah,
in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Okay, Gyoji is ready. Shimazumi. Down they go. Shimazumi straight on the front of Tsurunumi's belt, but Tsurunomi fights, tries to keep himself mobile. Shimazumi now seems to be moving Tsurunomi back and over. Just powerful belt sumo from Shimazumi there. That's his Kachikoshi. That's a good news story.
Very good news story. Well done, Shimazumi. I like this guy. Kitsune Sato was having a good look at him, watching him do.
ただいまの決まり手は
this time
寄り
around,
切
so
り
that's a good sign for him.
寄り切って
And I
島
need
津
to
海
say,
の勝ち
Annie, you've brought up two great points now, which I'm a long way away from the chat today, so I have to lean in to see it. But the first one was us having an empty suitcase and needing to fill it with sumo toilet paper. Now, I need more information about this. Can you get it from the shop? And where do I get sumo toilet paper from? And the number two question is there a lot of eyebrow manscaping going on? There's some very neat
Gee, that's
brows.
fascinating.
Now, was it Shimazumi? Because now I don't often look at guys' eyebrows, I have to say. Now I'm looking at yours.
Yeah,
Can you look at me? Yeah, they're fine.
they're fine.
But are they getting... Oh, well, Enho gets his done, surely.
Yeah. I mean, he would have a beauty regime. Enho.
Oh, I would think so. He'd have to.
Yeah. I mean, you can't tell me that skin is just naturally that soft and supple.
Let's talk about Enho.
Let's talk about Enho. Wow. I think it wasn't all that long ago that I was resigned to the fact that Enho is going to be, a lower Juryo Rikishi. There were very...
You gave up on him quite quickly.
Well, excuse me. There wasn't a lot to hang your hat on with Enho's sumo, but we talk about rebirth with Aqua. We've seen a very, very similar rebirth here with Enho. He's just
東
taking
十両
people straight
11枚
on.
目
And I think that's the
石川
sumo that
県
he was doing up at the top
金
of
沢
the
市出身
Sure, he
宮
has
城野
days
部
where
屋
he takes advantage of being smaller, quicker, he moves
西
around
方
the side.
千代
What
丸
we've seen this time, he goes
西
straight on
十
the
両
belt,
筆
Yeah.
頭
starts to swing people around,
Yeah.
starts to
鹿児島県
destabilize
志
them.
布志市出身九重部屋
9-5. I mean, the results speak for themselves. It's a very, very good basho from Enho, and I think probably the
Yobidashi wa
sumo
Daikichi.
community around the world
行事
are
は
breathing a
木
sigh
村
of
銀次郎
relief.
であり
I
ま
think
す
so. You can see it in his Kimarite for his wins. He's still going in low and he's still going for the belt and often the front of the belt. But he seems to have worked out, and maybe it's because the elbow is stronger or his body's just working a bit better at the moment. He's got a number of techniques to use from there. So you can see the shitate hineri. He's got a couple of those this time around. The shitate nage, hikyotoshi, yori taoshi, shitate dashinage. So he's pushing forward, but he's also getting under and twisting down, but also pulling down. It's just he's kind of found, whether it's through his body feeling better or whatever it is, or practicing, he's found some ways to make that smaller style work for him.
I see it as a mental shift.
Oh yeah.
I feel it's been a complete reset for Enho. Good to see a smattering of banners from both camps, though. A few Chiyomaru fans in.
Oh,
and at
Mr.
Juryo
Sumo.
1, he's already got the Kachikoshi. But Enho taking that straight line sumo against Chiyomaru, do you think that's going to work today?
I think it could. I think Chiyomaru could really back off from him and try to stay away from him. And that could play out well for either of them, actually, depending on what happens from there. But Enho's brows, now I can't stop looking at his eyebrows. they're beautiful. He's done well today. He's turned up. He's well presented. But what can he do with his sumo? He raises his head, looks Chiyomaru in the eyes, and there's no real touchy eye there. It doesn't really happen for Enho at least. But here he is slapping Chiyomaru back. He gets on the belt, he turns him around, and he flat out Akuri dashes in. So that's another commentate to add to Enho's list this time around. Well done, Enho.
10-5.
10 freaking wins.
Enho, and I mean, looking at this basho for Enho, this bout typified the style. He outpaced Chiyomaru there. He kept moving laterally, kept making openings for himself. Despite coming forward early, just kept rotating around, kept Chiyomaru guessing as to where he could find an attack. Got a little bit intimate there on the front of the belt, no doubt about it. Chiyomaru unable to enjoy that sensation though as he was turned around and taken out.
Yeah, wrong way around. Very great for Enho fans. He's just rediscovered something, and it's really interesting to see as there's a bit of a vibe shift around some of the
Beautifully said.
Makuuchi boys and the ones who are about to go down.
Yeah.
Because we can't help sometimes but contrast him with someone like Terutsuyoshi who has lost it and perhaps is a little bit more in the space where Enho was, where he can't find the rhythm and can't find the technique in that smaller style of sumo, but maybe he can watch some Enho vids because watch the tapes.
We've got a quick update from Annie on the sumo toilet paper. It's sold at the official sumo stall. And Annie, well, they lined up for 30 minutes as the service was slow. That's because former Rikishi was serving you. I don't think being a former Rikishi is any excuse for slow service.
No. No, I'll be saying that when I go.
Well, unless when you get to the front of the line, you can be talking to Sokukurai and, you know, talking about the great memories.
Yeah.
So maybe, selfie. Maybe that's why the service is so slow. Hopefully they do have some other products there apart from toilet paper, but look.
Oh, to our Korea fans, his family. I always default to the family.
Gee, I mean that photo on the fan is a bit grim. Was he arrested for something?
Mugshot.
It's his mugshot. Well,
Nicest photo they can find of him.
Shimano-umi, the married man, the legend in orange, used to go by the name Hamaguchi, debuted in 2012. Since marrying, though, I don't think he's got a Koshi since he got married.
He's plummeted down the ranks.
He certainly has.
114, 411.
Look, I think, he's a very, very good Rikishi. It just seems to be a matter of consistency for Shimano-umi. On the other side, Toha Kuryu, he's at Juryo 1, but already has that losing record. Makakoshi 5 and 9. Toha Kuryu, when he's not doing something wily, he can look very ordinary out on the doyo.
Yeah.
I don't feel he's got a great touchy eye. I don't feel that his tsupari is particularly strong, and his belt sumo can leave you feeling a bit cold.
I hope the family isn't listening.
Well, I'm brave. If they are, they're going to know it's true.
I agree. He is.
He's all right. He's okay. And at Juryo 1.
It is a picture on his official site. That's true.
Is it?
But could he get a better one? Is my question.
Yeah. You look, I don't know. Don't do your photo shoot after you've robbed something, I think is the key message to kids out there. And I know kids are listening. So, Toha Kuryu fighting at his highest rank of Juryo 1. They are ready to go. Nothing to play for but pride. Shimano-umi down first. Toha Kuryu Might treat himself to a henka here. No, he goes straight at Shimanumi, hits him high. Shimanumi trying to move in close, grabs the belt, throws. Tohakuri down. That's an easy win for Shimanumi, and really at Juryo 8, a 7 and 8 result for this basho, you'd have to say is positive. Tohakuri. Feels like the top of Juryo is a bit too hot.
Yeah, it wasn't to be. It wasn't to take the spot of Terutsuyoshi or anyone else in Makuchi. We'll stay in Juryo again. One more time around Tohakuri. He's been up the top of Juryo for so long now.
重量と
This whole
3
year
段目
pretty
に
much,
同
but
点差がありますの
hasn't
で
been able to
ここで優
achieve
勝
enough.
決定戦を行い
Got
ます
the Kachikoshi last time at Juryo 3.
重量
Didn't
の
go
同
up,
点
was
者は
denied.
追手風部屋
This
の
was his
大
time,
奄美と
but
鳴門部屋
And
の
one of the
大
things
勝負
that I forget
Sandame
about
no Doutensha wa
Tohakuri is that he only
追手風部
debuted
屋
in
の仁と
2019.
立浪部屋の
in
和人で
May.
あります
So really,
なお
for him to be at the
幕下
top
序
of
二段
Juryo
序の
is
口は
sensational.
優勝が決定いたしております
Well, it is time. It is prized.
はじめに3段目の優勝決定戦を行います
It is
Well-
Sandame Yusho time. That's right, actually. So this is Hitoshi at Sandame 28 versus Kazuto at Sandame 66. Both on 7 and 0. Hitoshi is 25 from Oita Kazebeya. And if his name sounds familiar, that is because he won the Jonidan Yusho twice in the last couple of years. He's also been out for a while for injury, but here he is back in Sandame having a go. Kazuto, he's 18 years old. You can see the short hair, young guy. This is only his third basho. He's from Tatsunami Beya, and he's had one in Jonakuchi, one in Jonidan. Now he's in Sandame,
Wow.
and he's hit the jackpot. He's got the 7-0. He's up against Hitoshi. What can he do?
Hitoshi, the 25-year-old, coming in with a big size
Higashigata
advantage over
Hitoshi.
Kazuto.
西方
I mean,
和人
18 to be
呼び出し
fighting
は
at this
重次
level.
郎
I
行
think,
事は
this
式
is
守
a
海
name,
之助
unless he changes it, that you'll be
3段
hearing a
目
lot over the
優
next
勝
few
決定
years.
戦であります
It's a powerful arrangement of those two kanji, though.
You like it?
Oh, I like it.
Hitoshi with the red. And Kazuto with the purple. Oh, it's a mata. He's nervous, Kazuto. He's nervous, the 18-year-old. He apologizes to all of us for that disrespect. And goes down. And he is in low. He's taken back, but he fights strongly. They're catapulting each other around. What about?
Wow.
And it is Hitoshi
Hitoshi, he can't believe what he saw.
just loving himself, loving the win, trying to contain it within.
Wow, I think we need to have another look at this Kazuto performance here. The footwork was phenomenal. Nearly kept himself in that.
There was so much
Hitoshi
emotion
no
in
kachi.
that Sandame
この結果
playoff.
3段目優勝は追手
Kazuto
風部屋
came
の
back
仁
so
と
well
と
after
決定い
being
たしました
taken back to the edge off the touch out. He got a slap as well, right hand slap from Hitoshi. He was taken all the way back, but he got underneath the arms. And it was a whirlwind from here.
Look
and
at
he
that
just committed
recovery.
a tiny bit too hard there.
Oh,
Tried to pull Hitoshi out with the arm.
trying not to smile, Hitoshi. I love it. Wow, what an exciting bout.
Just wanted to fist pump the sky there. Realised he couldn't. What a fantastic bout to see. I love when there's a playoff in the lower divisions. It's often very exciting. So Hitoshi wins the Sandanme Yusho. He joins
続いて
Asashi,
重量
who
の
wins the
優勝決定
Jonidan
戦を行います
Yusho. He's 28 from Takasago. He's been in sumo for a long time, since 2017. And Takara Fuji from Isagahama Beya. He's 23, and he won the Jonakuchi Yusho. This is his first basho. He's come in and smashed it for Isagahama.
Well, they need some good news stories.
Yeah.
Isagahama. As we
Well, now they've got Takara Fuji, Nishiki Fuji, and Midori Fuji. They're the three big ones at the moment.
Well, here we go. This is your Juryo playoff. Daiamami again against Oshoma. None of those 10-5 Rikishi could join them today. They put the straws away, and I, for one, are thankful. The way they structure those playoffs, it's a whirlwind of confusion.
I feel like they get out some rule book from some musty
It's a scroll.
actual book
Scroll.
from, and it's not on the premise. It's certainly not in Fukuoka. So they're like faxing Tokyo, going, "Where's the book? Where's the scroll? What do we do in a playoff?" And they're faxing the information back. They're like, get some straws, cut them off, make them different lengths. Oh, we don't need it today. It's Daiamami. Daiamami. I mean, he's got fans. There are people who absolutely love Daiamami and extremely committed to this win.
Well, as they prepare for the final bout, let's recap our Sumo Mainichi Juryo Awards for this Basho. The Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me award was given to Enho. That's given to people who are in the lower ranks of Juryo and who might be slipping out and pull out a really big result. And Enho is a very deserving winner of that. The Super Sake star of tomorrow is the man on your screen at the moment, Oshoma. And he was also given the Rising from the Swamp award, which is for breakout performances from the lower part of Juryo. And our new award, the Goodbye Sweet Prince award, has been given to Tokashoryu.
Take a moment.
Pour one out. The great man will be leaving Juryo with that fairly ordinary, was it 4'11" or 5'10"? It was a disaster, no matter how you cut it. Daiamami doesn't look like he is very bothered. Oshoma, the weight of expectation on his shoulders. He's already overachieved with this score. But he gets a second chance to beat Daiamami to take this Yusho. What a treat. Juryo has been so good this time around.
As usual.
As usual.
Is where it's at.
There's something about Juryo. It's grassroots sumo.
Oh, she is overcome with emotion. I think that's Daiamami.
Well, if I was an ex-Rikishi wearing a blue jacket, I would be keeping all eyes on her because I think she will rush the dojo in the case of a Daiamami win.
Keep
there.
it under control.
Well, Oshoma.
The fan club.
Fan club, all white seems to be the theme. That looks like a very tight-fitting top that guy has on.
With the weird panel on the side.
Well, I mean,
how does that t-shirt work?
I think that guy, again, if I was wearing a blue jacket, I'd be looking at him because he looks very aerodynamic in that white.
Fukuoka is off the charts today. And finally, we've been waiting for this crowd to go off, and they are. They're pulling it out on day 15. They are not into masks today.
Who do we want to win here? Let's do it.
Oshoma, he's down early. He's feeling it. Has he stared in the mirror? And what has he seen?
Wow, some mind games going on here. Is Daiamami taking his sweet time?
He wants it. They both want it.
Wow. This is sumo.
They come together. Oshoma, he's pushing up at Daiamami's body, and he can't move back, but he's not moved back either. He is in one big push, but they lock up in the middle. Daiamami's trying to push Oshoma away, and he does. He pushes him right to the edge. Oshoma's off balance, and he comes back, and he pushes Daiamami out.
There we go. Juryo, Yusho, winner, Oshoma, sensational sumo. Bit of time staring in the mirror while he was pinned up against the wall, did all the good in the world. He went out there with a very specific plan, it seemed.
He absolutely did. Now, there was some hush in the crowd. I thought they were about to call a penalty. That was so
この結果、重量優勝は
Crowd was a bit
ナルト部
weird
屋の
about it.
欧勝
I
馬と
don't
決定
know
いた
what
しまし
happened
た。
there, but no Monoi was called. There was no need for it. Oshoma, this time he moved well. This time he didn't let himself be pushed back and out. He mounted a very good defense on the Tawara there because he was pushed back twice. First time off the touchy eye. Second time here where you can see it now. Pushed right to the edge and he was able to pull Daiamami forward with that left arm and keep control of it.
Just beautiful positioning from
Great
Oshoma.
work.
And I think that hush in the crowd probably came from the fact that Daiamami is from Kagoshima. So technically his hometown, Basho.
No Monoi.
No
Just like,
Monoi.
why aren't you on board with Oshoma?
But look, I mean, this is a huge, huge victory for Oshoma there. Just very, very clever sumo. And I think in contrast to that first bout, his head was there. He kept aware of Daiamami's position the whole time. Very strategic moves around laterally. Really, and that arm grab there just seemed to really
ただ
throw
いまより
Daiamami
重量以下
off balance.
各段優勝力士の表彰式であります。
Now, thank you everyone for being with us today and for your commitment to Juryo. It's such a great division. We love it. We love talking about it. We love commentating it. Thank you so much. Obviously, we move on now to, the awards first. The award ceremony. But then a very exciting Makuchi. We haven't even mentioned Takayasu because we actually can't go there in our minds. We're
はじめに
not going to engage with that.
No,
It's too
but-
emotional. We'll talk about it later tonight in the
重
podcast
量優勝
once we know
欧
what
勝馬
happens.
Yeah.
But let's just say we've got the buckets ready, and I hope everyone else does as well.
Get the buckets out. It's going to be a very, very exciting end to this
11月
Basho.
27日
Thank you so much for joining us today. We love hanging out with
Try the
such
range of
quality,
slight, no
quality
sugar
people.
flavours
And I know you're
at
quality people
7-Eleven.
because
Open
you're in the chat.
24/7,
Yeah.
so you can
You're
summer
watching
24/7.
this very low-key Juryo live commentary.
Talk about Arby.
Talk about Abi.
Well, I mean, I actually had a very strong thought this morning. I don't know if anyone else agrees that it's going to come down to who out of Arby and Takayasu can get each other down first. I feel like they're both going to be looking for the pull.
I think that's what sumo is, though. Getting someone down first.
Yes, of course, but it could be a push.
I mean, that's a very
I feel like
accurate-
they're both going to be looking for. I feel like Takayasu is going to be looking for the pull on the arm of Arby, and Arby's going to be looking for the pull as well. That's just my feeling. I don't know whether I'm going to be right. We will see later tonight.
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much for joining us today. We'll do a podcast later wrapping up the results from the Basho. We'll see you next time in January. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much. See ya.
.com.au. Easy.